Hello, my friends, and welcome. We are going to be looking at an interview that Jesse Waters did with Ned Ryan. He's the founder of the American Majority. And what they were discussing basically is Doge. When it started, it was looking at basic corruption, basic fraud, maybe redundant programs, maybe departments that weren't working very well to try to trim the fat there. But what they have discovered is so much more, and it all involves the taxpayer money, the taxes that we pay, and going into the NGOs, which take it back into the Democratic Party. And it's this nice little convenient flow of money, and it is one of the pillars that have propped up the Democratic Party to fund all their crazy anti-American stuff over the last who knows how many decades. All right, well, let's get to it. 10,000 subscribers. Let's do it.
The veil's been lifted. The country sees Democrats for what they are, scam artists.
How much have you spent on charitable causes this year?
It's just blurry. I be doing so much.
BLM? Since you want to be so black power?
BLM is a scam.
Clip that. Send it to the f***ing news.
BLM was literally a scam. They had bought mansions, and you probably wouldn't know anything about it because you don't care about black people. You don't follow black
I do care about black people.
American Majority founder Ned Ryan is here. All right, so you got all these pillars that have propped up Democrats for decades, the bureaucrats, the lawyers, big tech, the media, colleges. They are all being attacked everywhere at the same time. This is huge. What's next?
Well, continuing on, I'm just thinking about Elon and Doge, and you're talking about the bureaucracy. But what they've also discovered is that in their beginning to look for waste, fraud, and abuse, they discovered hundreds of billions of dollars that were being funneled into Democrat-affiliated NGOs. And so, Jesse, not only were our taxpayer dollars being used to actually fund leftists, they're actually being used to aggressively fund these NGOs that were undermining this country. And so you take away that funding and you begin to take away that pillar. I love the fact that the corporate media, who I call the corporate propagandists, the American people have seen them, for the most part, who they really are. That they're not about the truth, they're not about honesty, they're just an auxiliary of the Democratic Party and the administrative state. And then you look at what's taking place with the colleges right now. I hope they continue going down this path of not only yanking funding, I hope they go after their endowments. Most of these colleges and universities are indoctrination centers of higher learning that are churning out leftists, and I think we need to have a really strong look at going after their endowments as well.
Yeah, I just saw some news that Trump took some grants away from Johns Hopkins, where my sister works, and now my mom's upset. She's texting me. It's going to be a whole family thing. So we'll have to deal with that over the weekend. But Ed, when you talk about these thieves, because that's what they are. I mean, you don't take money and pay yourself a huge salary and not do anything with the money except give it to other NGOs that open the borders and open the prisons. I mean, that is a massive scam, and we're hearing Pam Bondi's already investigating it as fraud.
The thing that's amazing to me, Jesse, is how abused the American taxpayer has been to actually fund the undermining of their country. Again, think about the so-called religious charities that were actually incentivized to cause this massive illegal immigration under the Biden administration with American taxpayer dollars. I think the other interesting one, though, that you mentioned is Act Blue. I have thought for a long time that Act Blue is a criminal enterprise, and now it's getting the scrutiny that it deserves. And I think that if Republicans continue down this path, I think they will discover that Act Blue was a money laundering operation. There was a lot of smurfing that took place, identity theft, in which people's names were being used to run some of these small dollar donations. And I think if you start to undercut the Act Blue aspect of the Democratic machine, I think Democrats are in serious trouble. You cut off their taxpayer dollars for their NGOs, you cut off their political donations for Act Blue. I like where we're headed on this, but I hope that Republicans keep going.
Yeah, how much you want to bet foreign cash went to Act Blue and that
100%.
went into these elections? We know how much they
100%.
hate foreign interference in elections, that we know they think that's the biggest crime against the country. It's going to be interesting to see if they were guilty of that very same crime. Thank you so much, Ned. We really appreciate it.
Thanks, Jesse.
It really just kind of makes you sick to your stomach to see how much the Democratic Party has just simply been ripping off the American people over the past decade, 2 decades. Who knows how long this has been going on? We may never know. But it is good that Doge is there, that President Trump is shining a light and putting an end to all the corruption, draining the swamp. All right. Well, hey, listen, if you like this video, please subscribe, like, share, slap that bell around, all that jazz. And tell your friends about Idle Hands and what we're doing here. We're trying to grow the channel this year and expand our great community. All right. Well, hey, listen, until the next episode, know that you are loved, you are appreciated, stay safe, and until we meet again, have a great day.
I got nightmares in my head, I fear that the thoughts build up until I can't hear.